Okay, recording, yeah.
Okay, it is now 3:01 and I'm calling the July Board of Finance and Audit Committee to order. We have a form. Roll call, no two. Okay. Can I get an approval of the agenda, please? Second?
I guess I'll second.
Yeah, I'm hoping you can second.
I can.
Okay, great. And I don't see any public participation here, and it doesn't look like there's anything. Video, correct?
I think just Mark.
Oh, Mark is there, okay. So I will move on. Can I get approval of the minutes for June, please?
Second.
Thank you. Next is the May 2025 financial statement from Ms. Angela.
Hey. We have the report. I'll give you a summary of the information that's available to read. May ended with a net gain of 1.2 million. Some of this is the business seasonality, but overall improvement of the organization as a whole. It was primarily due to the increase in patient days. MedSurg was up 22.3%. CCU was up 40.5% over prior month. And then for the May financials, we evaluated the contractuals and bad debt reserve, and we'll continue that evaluation to make sure we're properly reserved at year end. So overall, a very good picture for May. Wanted to bring to your attention on the home health and hospice, the June financials. The May financials, it does not provide the revenue in there. We will have a catch up in June. It's a variance of about 85,000. Just a little bit of a reporting thing that we needed to clean up internally, which we've addressed and put mitigating things around to make sure it doesn't happen again.
May I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
So it's the May financial statements are understated by
85,000, that is correct. Approximately.
just
In the May financials, we see on the expenses, contract labor continued to run high. It's about 1 million unfavorable to budget. We're continuing to work on our internal staffing and our CNA training to mitigate that. There was upside on the insurance expense that was doubled in April, so you'll see that there's barely any insurance expense in May. And that's because it was already accounted for year to date. The total positive operating margin was 8.38% for May and 4.27% year to date. And this is against the goal of 3% to keep the healthy cash flow and the hospital functional. So we are outpacing that, which is great. The year-to-date current net margin is 5.5%, up from 5.2% year-to-date April. So again, an overall increase in the bottom line. And what that means is that the year-to-date May was a positive net margin of 7.9 million. And if we look at the prior year, it was a loss of 6.7 million. So we are looking at a swing year over year of 14.6. So that is the impact of the changes that have been made. Any questions on that?
And one question on the uncompensated care. It's up and you've stated why it was up. So totally anticipate that that will go back down the following month.
Yes, we do. We were looking at the additional reserves to make sure we're properly reserved. We'll make sure that's buttoned up by year end, but we expect that to pattern out so that we don't have our
Oh, great. And then I was looking here where for OR rental expenses.
This was paid back with emergency $100.
21K over budget. I don't recall directly off the top of my head, but I will look into that and get
Okay, just curious.
Sorry, I was listening to the code. I missed the question.
Okay, leases were 21K over budget due to OR rental expenses.
Yeah, so we have the Da Vinci in there. And so year over year, there's some expenses associated with that. And so there's a one-time fee as we missed. So it's a monthly and then there's an annual upkeep fee. It's a one-time thing we have to pay once a year.
Any other questions for Angela?
$125.
They're testing the arrest buttons. They'll keep going off until they silence it.
Oh, okay, so I should start talking. Okay, okay, next on our agenda is the home health four-year projection.
We have provided two different scenarios for home health projection. The first one, which is on page 17, is a conservative first year increase of 2% on the revenue. And then it continues at a standard 4% revenue increase, 3% expense increase. And this does show that it is continuing in a negative fashion. So we will have some additional work to do on potential other efforts to address that. But at this time, that's the way it's projected out. The second one is a little bit more of an aggressive one. This is page 18. And that is the year one revenue increases of 10%, which is 8% higher. And then the same extending revenue and expense increases for the next years for the 4% for revenue and 3% for expenses. And so that shows a little bit less of a loss, but still in a loss position.
And I'm sure I know the answer to this, but I just want to be sure this is just home health. This is not including hospice.
This is just home health. Hospice was in the April financials, and we're certainly looking at those in conjunction, but to separate it out for these purposes.
Trying to remember, I know we had done some budgeting before. Is this close to what?
Yeah, home health has always been projected to be the one of the two programs that where it's not sustainable. So it's more of just reiterating that point. We do have the $100,000 up there from the city's contribution. But hopefully we can use this as a tool to garner community support as we continue to support the program. There are some, efficiencies between the two, so it's not a one-for-one. You can't close home health and just that loss goes away and more loss in transfer costs. That makes sense.
Do you think the city will continue to give a little money towards this?
We're gonna continue to ask.
Excellent. Okay.
We just did 26 because they can't appropriate for future years, so. I think that's-
About the home health care projection?
And there's not much. It's just to be that way at this point.
It is, unless there's something that happens at the federal level. Most of these patients are Medicare or Medicaid, and so unless there's payment reform, it's just unlikely based on the last bill that was passed. But there are some, they always go through these cycles, right? They'll do pushes where they're trying to push people to the lowest cost of care. So it could be something we could see an increase in home health and hospice. What they do is they'll increase reimbursement, try to get more patients. The last 3 months of a person's life is the most expensive and typically it's in the hospital. And so we changed that and put it in hospice or home care. I mean, it would decrease the cost of care to the community and to those programs. We'll continue to advocate for that.
And we knew that going into this.
Yeah. This is for the community. I mean, it is a discharge mechanism for the hospital. So as we saw some of the volumes we saw in the last month, it was good. Then check to have this.
Twenty-five, a lower one.
Okay, wow, we're gonna get, keep going at this rate. A few more questions, please. Okay, we're on to committee and comments, questions.
I think just a quick update with the new one big beautiful bill. So right after it passed, Bill Sullivan's office has reached out to try to elicit feedback. They've given us some information on the bill. We'll try to include that in the monthly report. We're trying to reinitiate the SOLS conversations. So in discussing it with Sullivan, that's one of the things they tried to get into the bill was this additional payment for patient Medicare for small hospitals. It's just that it passed, so it sounds like they're trying to reinvigorate the SOLS conversation. So there is some hope that we can move that forward. Aside from that, they are moving forward. Apparently CMS administrator can do program changes at the CMS level, so they can just change the OPPS rates for us. It takes you basically a year and a half to function those though. So it'd be in FY calendar year 27, we could see an increase to our outpatient Medicare rate. What they had gotten into the bill and what they're proposing is like 600,000 for Bartlett at this point. So it is an increase to outpatient Medicare. And those are based on 23 volumes. So it could be a little bit different. We've seen all our volumes increase, so I don't expect that to go down. What they've done is they take a CPI index that hasn't been applied to Alaska. We just got the national CPI. So basically they're going to break out Alaska and say, we're going to apply the CPI that's associated with cost of living in Alaska. So that's what they're pushing.
So they did not approve the SOLS app. Is that what you're saying?
They did not. They're going to reinitiate those conversations and try to get it attached to.
Just something else?
Yeah. So
That was my.
Yeah.
I was wondering how they were going to reinitiate it if it wasn't in the.
they reached out and when I start having conversations, I guess they're trying to set up a meeting with. Kennedy? See the,
Kennedy.
yeah, so they're trying to set up a meeting with Kennedy so we can discuss it with them. So they're looking at the 3 CEOs from our hospitals in Alaska and having that discussion. So I mean, they're just having conversations about it. So I see that as a good sign.
So. Do you mind if I keep
Keep
going.
Lower
This also benefits Hawaii, right? So SOLS is specifically.
The non-contiguous, so it's Alaska and Hawaii, and it's only Seoul Community Hospitals.
Okay.
Central Peninsula, Fairbanks in Alaska, I think there's 1 or 2 in Hawaii.
Okay.
So it's specific to these 5 hospitals.
And are we looping them in or are they on their own?
I think they're getting pulled in from the senator's
Okay.
office because the bill was co-sponsored. So.
From grade staff emergency neuro or 125,
Tried to make it.
a lower 100.
Thank you.
Grade staff emergency.
I actually have one more question as I flip through my stuff here was, I was looking and for the mental health unit patients. So for April and May, they've gone down. Is any rhyme or reason?
Yeah, so we had some staffing issues. We lost some nurses. We discussed this in previous months. So we had to cap the census.
Okay,
No, we had to cap the acuity, I'm sorry. So it wasn't based on census, it's based on the acuity score of the patients we had. So sometimes it would be 3, sometimes it would go up to 7, depending on the acuity of the patient. We have nurses in place now, and we're increasing in the month of June, or increased in the month of June, sorry. Then we continue to recruit. We had to extend some travelers up there. It's one of those constant challenges. Where I've reached out to some of my cohort in Alaska to see if they're experiencing the same level. And it seems like it's statewide. Everyone's having struggles.
And is it just for psych nurses or is it for nurses across the board?
Nurses across the board. Yeah, and so, I mean, we do have quite a few contract people throughout, there's quite a few in the OR. A few to health, there's some, there's three. Oh, we're checking to see if we get it to 1%. Just understand the total number.
We have increased patients, so.
Yeah, increased patients. This is the new problem. We've had this problem for 25 years, it's just how we manage it. There's ups and downs to these problems.
Through the chair, we have implemented, we've reinvigorated our employee referral incentive program as well. So for hard to fill positions, that's something that we've already seen an uptick in staff referring. We recently had 2 home health and hospice hires, permanent hires that were both referred by an intern person. So it's definitely working. So I hope that people continue to see the value of it. It's lucrative and it's a great way to work staff and bringing good people here.
What's the name of that program?
It's called the Bounty Hunter Program.
You just wanted me to say it, didn't you?
I tell people I'd hit them a little Boba Fett pin or something. They hurt people. But yeah, it's exciting because it's very simple, very easy to understand. It's great to understand how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it. And I think it, again, it's just a simplified version of our previous program. So super excited about it.
I have one more follow-up on the nursing study. Are we, are our nursing programs in the state, the University of Alaska and Alaska Pacific University, I don't know if there are any others, is that enrollment increasing at all, or how are we coming with those programs?
So
So we actually have multiple programs going in. So we have the UAA cohort. We have a first year and a second year program with UAA. We have Alaska Pacific. We also have a Nightingale program with it. And then we're actually looking at another program. Plus we have our LPN program running. So, and then the one thing that we are doing with the board, so don't miss the August board meeting. We are going to be doing a presentation about our CNA program, but Jenny Twido is going to be doing a presentation. So bring all your questions for her. So we're going to do a show and tell on our new training lab downstairs before the board meeting. So if you have questions for that, that would be a great time to bring them and ask her before her presentation with the board.
And my understanding is UAA has not
Started up their CNA program again. They've had challenges getting staff to do so.
How many CNAs do you currently have? 12, 13?
We have 14. We were going to have 16 and then 2 dropped out at the last moment. So, and they will be finishing the end of the month and then be able to test in August or beginning of September. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Can I ask, do you know total RN graduates in this state between Alaska Pacific and UAA?
In the state or
In the state.
in us? I don't know. In the state, I'd have to look at the board and nursing website. They track it and they have all the results. I don't know if they have the graduate results, but they have the results of who passes the NCLEX by program. They track that. And that's on the website.
I could just look.
Yeah, they track it each year of they track each college's percentage of graduates who pass the NCLEX. Current nursing colleges are going to be able to keep up with the outflow of nurses.
I'll put together some research in spring where they talked about like the attrition of nurses that are going, just retiring, and then how many are backfilling, and then the growth in the need just due to the baby boomer generation.
Yeah.
And then the shortage projected over the next 5 to 10 years. I'll try to dig that back up and share it, but it's Sometimes the number just seems insurmountable, so you don't want to share all that bit of information.
But we need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
We'll keep pushing it, yeah, and some of our own programs, because there's programs that are now in place that weren't part of that study, so. There's some that have closed, well, like,
Great. I have one last question. Any update on the housing that you were looking at?
so what we've done is we started with rentals. We have a landlord that's agreed to, he's trying to get us 4 units. We got one already locked up. It's something that I was gonna work with hopefully the next month.
Okay.
I had a chance to do more research into that. I know there's been a lot of interest. You start talking about it and all of a sudden I get tons of emails on housing. But we're still researching the problem.
Well, as a previous landlord, you always looked for those groups, like we run into the Coast Guard. So renting to the hospital would fit into that.
Yeah.
Group.
I think it should be a desirable.
You would be.
Yeah.
Okay, last chance for more questions. Am I gonna beat Max on the shortest finance meeting?
I don't think so, but close. I think it's neck and neck.
I can look it up.
Let us know at the board meeting. You can
There
just
we
let us
go.
know.
Okay, no further questions, and I am officially gonna adjourn the meeting. Thank you. Oh, I do want to say a big thank you to you guys and the staff, because I know it's been super busy. Just looking at the numbers, coming through the ED, MedSurg, CCU, so it's strong work.
We tried to recognize it. We tried to get out there. We did some rounding with snacks, just trying to frustrate staff because it has been. We've had a lot of patients. We've had some.
When you round the snacks, let me know next time. I'd love to go with you.
Kim was out at 3:00 this morning rounding.
You know, I'd get up and go with Kim at 3:00. If I know it in advance. All righty, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.